He's a gold magnate, a motorsport enthusiast, a philanthropist, and now a presidential hopeful. Born into one of Guyana's most influential business families, Azruddin Mohammed built an empire that spans gold exports, real estate, and racing. But with success came scrutiny, sanctions, tax fraud allegations, and mounting public attention. In today's video, we take a closer look at the life and rise of Azruddin Mohammed, the businessman at the center of Guyana's shifting economic and political landscape. Azruddin Mohammed was born on March 1st, 1987 in Georgetown, Guyana, at St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. The eldest of 3 children, he was raised in a family already well entrenched in the local business scene. His father, Nazar Shell Mohammed, founded Mohammed's enterprise, a company that would eventually become one of the largest gold exporters in the country. From a young age, Azruddin showed signs of ambition and discipline. He attended Mays schools, where he excelled academically and initially earned a place at Queen's College, one of Guyana's most prestigious institutions. However, he would ultimately complete his secondary education back at Mays. By age 19, he had earned a degree in business administration from the University of Guyana, setting the stage for his entry into the family business and, eventually, the national spotlight. After completing his studies, Azruddin wasted no time stepping into the family business. At just 19, he joined Mohammed's enterprise, working under the guidance of his father. The company, originally focused on gold trading, grew rapidly under the Mohammed family's leadership, eventually becoming a dominant force in Guyana's gold export industry. Azruddin's influence helped expand operations beyond mining. The enterprise diversified into foreign currency exchange, real estate, and construction, with holdings that include commercial properties like the City Mall, luxury apartments, and office spaces leased to oil and gas companies. As Guyana's oil sector began to boom, so did Mohammed's ventures. He invested heavily in infrastructure to support offshore development, purchasing land for laydown yards and logistics hubs. These strategic moves placed him at the intersection of gold wealth and oil potential, 2 of Guyana's most lucrative industries. While much of his success is tied to family foundations, Azruddin has increasingly become the public face of the brand, often featured in media, public events, and most recently, political rallies. Outside of the boardroom, Azruddin Mohammed developed a reputation for speed, literally. A passionate car enthusiast from childhood, he reportedly began driving at just 9 years old. As an adult, he began importing high-performance vehicles that turned heads across the country. His collection includes multiple Nissan GTRs, a 4,000-horsepower Mustang, and Guyana's first Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, a car valued at over $500,000. His love for motorsports eventually led to the creation of Team Mohammed's, one of the country's premier drag racing teams. Drivers from Trinidad, Barbados, and the US, the team has not only dominated local events, but has helped push the development of Guyana's racing infrastructure. Azruddin invested in upgrades to the South Dakota circuit and brought international attention to the local racing scene. But it's not all about horsepower. Azruddin is also known for philanthropy. Through donations of laptops, school supplies, freezers, and sports equipment, he has reached communities across regions 3, 4, and 5. His initiatives have supported children, elderly residents, and disaster-affected families, efforts that have earned both praise and skepticism, depending on who you ask. For all his business success and public generosity, Azruddin Mohammed's rise has not come without controversy. In June 2024, the United States Department of the Treasury sanctioned Mohammed under the Global Magnitsky Act, citing alleged involvement in public corruption, gold smuggling, and customs fraud. According to U.S. authorities, Mohammed and his network were linked to the undervaluation of over 10,000 kilograms of gold exports, potentially costing the Guyanese government over $50 million in lost revenue. The allegations also included bribery, money laundering, and close connections with political and law enforcement figures. The Guyanese government responded cautiously. Vice President Bharat Jagdeo publicly stated that no special treatment would be given, and that the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, and the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, were conducting independent investigations. In May 2025, things escalated when Azruddin was formally charged in a local court. The accusation? False customs declarations for the importation of his Lamborghini Aventador SVJ customs records allegedly listed the car at $75,000, far below its estimated market value of over $695,000. He pleaded not guilty and was granted GYD 500,000 bail, roughly 2,500 USD. Civil proceedings are now underway in the High Court as tax officials seek to reassess his import declarations and recover what they say are millions owed in evaded taxes. Supporters argue that Mohamed is being politically targeted, while critics view the charges as long overdue. Either way, the legal and diplomatic spotlight on Azruddin Mohammed has only intensified. On May 26, 2025, as Guyana celebrated its independence, Azruddin Mohammed made a bold announcement. He would run for president in the upcoming general election scheduled for September 1st, 2025. Declaring himself an independent candidate backed by a newly formed party, Mohamed promised electoral reform, economic modernization, and what he called people-centered leadership. He also called on international observers from the Commonwealth, the OAS, the Carter Center, and the United Nations to ensure a free and fair election. While his candidacy shocked many, it didn't come entirely out of nowhere. For months, he had been increasing his public appearances, funding large-scale community initiatives, and quietly building grassroots support. Can a man under U.S. sanctions and facing criminal charges in his own country become Guyana's next head of state? For some, Mohamed represents a break from the traditional political class, a bold, modern businessman ready to shake up the system. For others, his legal troubles and flashy image raise serious questions about integrity and accountability. Love him or distrust him, Azruddin Mohammed is no longer just a businessman. His story is now intertwined with the future of a country grappling with wealth, inequality, and the growing pains of global attention. As the election draws near, one thing is certain: Guyana will be watching.